Okay, here we go. Great Pasquale here. I'm going to try to do this. This is a continuation from my last video. We're just trying to expose the coronavirus lies that are going on out there. I mean, mark my words. And again, I will eat my damn words and put my foot in my mouth if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. But I'm going to say this today because this is a big day. This is the day where before the so-called worst week we're ever going to see in U.S. history with this coronavirus. Like bodies are going to drop from the sky. We're all going to die. Like we're going to get this thing and I'm just going to croak like right on the spot. So I'm going to play devil's advocate today a little bit. I'm going to bring out a whole bunch of concepts. So let me show you my screen. It's going to look backwards to me, but it's going to look forward to you. So this is like a website a lot of people are using. It's called Worldometer. And we have 1,200,000 cases worldwide, 70,000 deaths almost. And this number here is what I have a problem with. 264 some odd thousand recovered. Now, how in the world are we tracking people that recovered that maybe went to a doctor or into a hospital and the doctor told them you're fine, you have it, but go home, your symptoms are mild, quarantine, social distance, all that crap. How do we know how many people recovered there? Now, if you look at these numbers, if 95% of the population with these so-called active cases, which makes no sense, have mild symptoms, then you would imagine that this number should drop immensely and quickly because mild conditions are basically going to last, 3 to 4 days, a week, 2 weeks tops? So why is this number not in half and thirds and quarters by now? And adding to this number makes no freaking sense, right? Very simple. 5% are serious or critical. So that's 45,000 people in the entire world. A planet of 7 billion people. Apparently there's 900,000 people walking around with this thing, which makes no sense because they should be immune by now and already gotten better. So explain that to me. We're being duped here. Something doesn't make sense. Okay? And the reason why is because I think they're trying to make the death toll percentage in comparison to the amount of cases there are worse, especially when it comes to the United States. Let's look at the United States numbers. Look at this. How does this make any goddamn sense? Why does the United States of America have so many freaking cases? Can someone explain that to me when this thing started in China? How did it go from this to here to that? Mind you, that is not a huge number. Not a huge number. Because if you take the numbers of, I'm going to show you my little cheat sheet here. I got a tracker. Here's my information. Influenza. To date, well, I got to push my data a little bit, but so far influenza has infected 19 million people. 22,000 deaths. Now, 22,000 deaths is a pretty decent number. It's not a huge number in relation to the amount that were infected, but here's what I'm trying to tell you. If 19 million people got this thing in only about 6 months here, and in the U.S., and only 300,000 got it in 3 months, how in the world do they think this number is going to jump up to anywhere near that number to be comparable? I could show you a 3-month window if I could find it. From October to December, I had the data up there before. It was something like, I think it was maybe, it's hard to guess, but it was substantial numbers as well. I think it was about 6,000. Oh, yeah, I remember. It was 7,500 deaths, sorry. And I wish I could remember the amount that were infected. I think it was 24 million infected. So let's just take that number. 24 million in 3 months Strain A of influenza, 24 million in 3 months. We don't even have 300,000. So the whole claim that this is such a contagious disease and a 1-to-2 ratio, one person could affect two, where the flu's 1-to-1, that case is blown out of the water by the numbers. This is data. I didn't make these numbers up. These are the things that I'm finding. Where did I get that data from? I got that from your precious CDC website and your World Health Organization and all that. I went to every website that everybody else is going to, and I don't know what they're reading that I'm not reading. But that's real math there. So this coronavirus does not equate to be as contagious. Now you want to say, oh, that's because we're all hiding in our houses, but you know, we would have had it by now, because the incubation period is 3 to 4 days. Let's say it was 2 weeks. Wouldn't we all have had it by now? You don't show symptoms when you're carrying. You don't show symptoms. So that means everybody would have got it, gotten better, got immunity, and back to life. Why is that not reflective of these numbers? So the contagion rate doesn't seem as nearly as high as the flu. The amount of deaths, the number itself is not as high. Nearly as high, not even substantial whatsoever, even worth reporting. Now, mind you, you have strain A and strain B of the flu going around on top of the coronavirus. So all these deaths they're reporting, we don't even know what the cause of death was. They just tell us that every patient has had pre-existing health conditions. Does that include the flu? So is the flu killing people too with the coronavirus? Now, great. You could. What's the rebuttal to that? I probably just gave more reasons for everybody to quarantine, and they may never go out of the house again. My point is that we have never done this in U.S. history to this level, what we're doing, except for the Spanish flu, which had like a death rate of 75%. It's a whole different ballgame. We're treating this particular flu like the Spanish flu. It's insane. It makes no damn sense. So that's what I wanted to bring out. And, you know, I just have my own hunches. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but there's some very strange things going on here. You know, if you look around the world and you look at all the different numbers out there, the numbers in the U.S. just don't make sense. It just seems like it's being drummed up for political purposes. You know, this $20 trillion, I'm sorry, we're already $20 trillion in debt. This $2 trillion stimulus bill, and then they're talking about another $2 trillion. You know, between all that, and there could be so much mischief going on behind the scenes. Who knows? Do you trust your government? I don't. Kickbacks in the pharmaceutical industry, I mean, anything's possible. There's so much mischief out there. And ironically, watch the movie Contagion. Very strange things going on there. Very strange coincidences between that movie, especially the ending. You know, but that's just me being a bit of a conspiracy theorist, which I usually am not. So that's what I basically wanted to say. The death, just to be clear. So I'm going to turn this camera around one more time, show you my numbers. I've been documenting all these things so you can see for yourself. So let's scroll up a little bit here. So you got closed cases, whatever that means. The recovery rate does not seem to coincide with the amount of people that have mild conditions. Like I said, this number should not be stagnant. This has to go down. We're not recording that data. The amount of deaths don't even make sense. This is worldwide, but we don't know what they died from. So, to me, it seems like they're trying to make the argument that the death ratio to the amount of people that are infected is a bigger number than you'd see in other viruses. So, I mean, that would be a substantial amount of 1.2 million having 70,000 deaths. That would be pretty substantial. But what's included in that death data, you can't find much of this information when you try to track the flu. They don't have charts like this. It's not out there. How is this being recorded so to the minute? Where are they getting this data? Do you ever ask yourself that stuff? Where do they get it from? I mean, you know, what are they doing with the people that come to the hospital and say, hey, I got to sneeze. You're going to keep me here forever? No, you can go home. And then they get the coronavirus and they stay at home. That doesn't become a statistic. So in that regard, if they're sending people home, this number could probably be double, triple, right? Let's just say there's 2-3 million cases going on out there. Then that pulls away from the death toll. That doesn't make this virus as deadly as you would think. That could bring the percentage down to where the flu is. 1%, 0.1%, whatever it is. I've seen so many different numbers, it's got me crazy. But one more thing I wanted to point out. Let me swing my camera back around. Emphysema and chronic bronchitis, COPD. 15 million infected, 140,000 deaths yearly. That's one death every 4 minutes. Ooh, did I dare say that? Because so many people like to scare with these little phrases. It's not contagious, but there are forms of it that are. Caused by smoking. Yet we don't ban cigarettes. I mean, we're banning like everything here. We're banning people from living. So anyway, I wanted to document today because I want to, like I said, I'll eat my words if I'm wrong, but I think that this coronavirus has been completely blown out of proportion in itself, and regardless, what we've done to the economy is absurd. We are following every protocol you governors bastards have put on us, okay? We're standing 17,000 miles away from each other. We got a stupid mask. Well, I'm not going to wear no fucking mask because I honestly feel that had we just gotten the damn virus already and become immune, this thing would have been done with. Dealt with. Because of those numbers I showed you. 5% severe, 95 not. Every medical expert in the field says that the symptoms are not severe and not as bad as the flu. They've all said it. They just warned us about people that have pre-existing health conditions. So, your masks and your gloves, you're 6 feet apart, your social distancing, people aren't leaving their houses, they don't want people, they shut the parks down, there's caution tape and playgrounds, you can't even go out and get exercise. I suppose you want to keep yourself healthy and try to be immune to this thing, or at least raise your resistance so you have a less of a chance of getting it. Because it is not that contagious. If I want to go jogging and get some sunlight and drink plenty of OJ, I can't even go out. You can't even find orange juice. You can't find the airborne stuff or Zicam, whatever the hell it's called, Zicam. You can't even prevent yourself from getting sick because the government won't even let you do anything. You can't go to a gym or go swimming. What's wrong with chlorine? That's the best thing. I want to go swimming in a pool. Can't do it. I mean, they got us locked down here. They've crippled the economy. And we can't defend ourselves against anything here. So what the hell's going on? But I mean, with all the things that we're following, all your damn rules, we got plexiglass boards up on the cashiers. They got tarp up. I had to buy a bottle of liquor the other day and slide my money in a shoebox through a little cut window through a plastic bag. I said, what the fuck are we doing here? I'm talking to people with masks on, like as if this is the Spanish flu rearing its ugly head again. It is nowhere near the Spanish flu. And we're doing all this stuff and you still can't open the businesses? Why can't we start opening businesses? Give me a break. Anyway. Over and out. Good luck. I'll see you when the world ends.